What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Triple Money Event Week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for June 22nd through June 28th, 2023. In terms of new content for this week, we did receive our first drip feed car, which is the new Bravado Buffalo EVX. So it's an electric muscle car that offers HSW and Imani Tech as well. But anyways, the current price ride for this week is the Grotti Turismo Classic. This vehicle is primarily based on the Ferrari F40 and has a normal price of about $700,000. To get this car for free, you have to place top 2 in an LS Carmate Series race for 4 days in a row. Now, in terms of performance, this car is in the Sports Classics class and is still one of the fastest on old gen and on new gen as well, if equipped with the HSW upgrade. It has great handling, customization, and detail, and a nice interior as well. Just an overall really great car. In terms of the test drive vehicles for this week, we have the Gauntlet Classic, the FMJ, and the Itali RSX as well. For current gen console users, we have the HSW Entity MT as the HSW test ride vehicle for this week. Continuing to the Casino Podium vehicle, we have the Pegassi Tempesta. This vehicle is primarily based on the Lamborghini Huracan, mixed with the Lotus Esprit concept as well, and has a normal price of about $1.3 million. In terms of performance, this car is in the supercar class and has great handling and acceleration as well, but where it really lacks is in terms of top speed. It's pretty low compared to other supercars, and that's what really holds it back. But either way, it still makes it into top 20 for most tracks, which is still pretty impressive considering how massive the supercar class is. In terms of the dealership cars for this week, for luxury autos, we have the new Buffalo EVX and the S80RR as well. And to note, the EVX does have the stock wheels in black at the dealership, so for those of you who prefer that over the stock silver alloy color, make sure to buy it from here instead of the main website. Now, the S80RR was one of the removed cars from the websites, so if you've been wanting to get one, here's your chance. Continuing to Simeons, we have the Paragon R, the Hellion, the Vamos, the Verus, and the Nero as well. So all of these cars, except for the Nero, are cars that were removed from the website, so a decent variety here if some of you are looking to acquire any of these cars. Moving on to the discounts, in terms of property discounts, we unfortunately don't have any on sale this week, but this sort of makes sense considering we literally just got the DLC last week, so hopefully the event weeks will get better as time progresses. Moving on to vehicle discounts, we have 30% off the Itali RSX. This car is in a sports class and is one of the quickest in that class alongside the Pariah and the Itali GTO depending on the track. However, the RSX is a bit weird in the way it handles. It doesn't have all that much downforce, so on bumpy tracks and such, it can get kind of sketchy to drive. So that's why I personally prefer the GTO or the Pariah, but either way, the RSX is still a pretty decent car to drive with great customization as well. Continuing to the Severn San Andreas website, we have 40% off the Gauntlet Classic. This is one of my favorite muscle cars in the game because of the customization and detail it has both inside and out. The idle from the exhaust note is fantastic as well. Now, it's not all that fast, being around the pace of some of the OG muscle cars, but it's still a fantastic car that I think is definitely worth owning. Moving on to the Benny's website, we have the Nero. So this is my favorite Bugatti inspired car in the game in terms of styling, plus the active aero spoiler. It's just a really nice car to drive with good handling for what it is and some decent customization even in its non-Benny's form. Just an overall really great car. Continuing to the Warstock website, we have 30% off the Mogul. So a pretty cool prop plane with a machine gun turret on top, plus it offers the JATO thrust system as an upgrade, front mounted machine gun option, and the ability to drop bombs and countermeasures as well. Honestly, I think this is a much better plane compared to the Streamer 216 that we just got in the new DLC. And lastly, onto Elitist Travel's website, we have 30% off the Miljet. So this jet has the highest seating capacity of any plane in the game, seating 16 players, which is pretty impressive, a little over half the lobby. But do keep in mind that it is a Pegasus aircraft, with pretty much no customization except for the paint job if you bring it into the hangar. Continuing to triple money, we have triple money NRP on featured community series jobs, and 1.5 times money NRP on the new Avenger Project Overthrow missions, which even with this bump in money, the payout is still garbage at only 20,000 per mission. So now, even with that boost, it would be 30,000 per mission roughly. That's still pretty terrible. I honestly think this should have been triple money if you ask me, but anyways, those are the only money bonuses this week, not all that great. Moving on to unlocks. So if you log in this week, you'll be given 3 liveries for the Avenger, which are the pink and green camo, the Santo Capra coins livery, and the Dala Dala livery as well. Also, if you own the operations terminal and thruster upgrade for the Avenger, you'll be given the Hinterland bomber jacket this week as well. Now, continuing to unlocks that are going to last until July 12th. So if you sell 500,000 worth of hanger crates, you'll get the LS Pounder hat. If you complete all 6 Project Overthrow missions, you'll get the blue and green camo livery for the Avenger. And lastly, if you complete 3 of the new Avenger LSA missions, you'll get the conveyor livery for the Molotov jet. And lastly, for time trials, so as I mentioned last week, the RC time trials now change daily, so I won't be covering those in the event weeks anymore since it literally changes every day. However, the other time trials and premium race still only change once a week on the usual Thursday, so I will be covering those. So this week's normal time trial is Sawmill. I highly recommend a quick bike for that one. For the premium race this week, we have the motorcycle race, A Sign of Things to Come. I highly recommend the Power Surge for this race, and if you're on next gen, I highly recommend using the HSW Hakachu Drag. And lastly, for current gen console users, the HSW time trial is Del Perro Beach. As always, the HSW Hakachu Drag will be the best one for these. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Nero. With how crazy the prices of everything are in GTA Online these days, I mean, normal random cars they add are over $1 million, even close to $2 million in some cases. I figure a nice Bugatti for a little over $1 million is a great deal considering how nice it is to drive, the active aero spoiler, and some pretty decent customization as well. And obviously, if you want to go nuts with the customization, you can always upgrade it to the Benny's variant, but even in its normal variant, I still think it's an amazing value. But anyways, guys, overall, this event week really isn't all that great, but that's always to be expected after the release of a new DLC. We probably won't see any decent event weeks till July. Also, I wouldn't expect the rest of the drip feed vehicles to release for a while, especially because of the Ghostbusters car that's most likely going to be released during Halloween and late October, so somehow Rockstar is going to get about 4 months of drip feed out of these 3 remaining cars, 1 aircraft, and 2 bicycles. I don't know how they're going to do it, but probably like 1 vehicle a month. That's going to be really bad. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.